Next weekend, the scene will shift to Las Vegas for another full weekend of racing. Friday, the Busch Series qualifying on Speed, followed by Winston Cup qualifying on Fox Sports Net. Saturday, NASCAR Busch Series racing presented by KFC on FX, followed by Winston Cup practice. And then Sunday, start your day with NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net, followed by the world's best drivers going bumper to bumper for NASCAR Winston Cup Series racing as NASCAR returns on the Fox network from Las Vegas, hometown of Kurt Busch, who is our current leader in the Subway 400, followed by Mark Martin, Ricky Craven, and Dale Jarrett. The 88 car currently running fourth. Let's listen in.
How's your car on cold tires, low air pressures?
Pretty free on cold tires.
Yeah, you know, I'm feeling like it's got a little push to it. You know, I know what you're telling me, but based off air pressure, I feel like it's got a little push, and when you get back in the gas, there's your looseness.
I ain't feeling that.
10-4. I'm just going off the air pressures. I understand what you're telling me. 10-4. We'll look at the top, taking some air out of that front.
Team communications there with Dale Jarrett and his crew. Why don't you, in layman's terms, break that down for us, Joe?
Well, what's going on right there? Brad Parrott is looking at tire pressures and tire temperatures. They're telling him one thing, but his driver is relating something totally different. So they're trying to make sure they're talking about what the car is truly doing. And Brad was kind of like doing a little cross-examination right there, saying, are you sure it's not this? And Dale Jarrett has come back and said, nope, this is what the car is doing, and he's going to adjust accordingly.
All right, and Jarrett has won here at Rockingham before. Let's check in with Matt Yoakum.
And Brad Parrott, you told Dale Jarrett that probably if we go green from here, you have to stop with about 30 to go. What do you have left to do to the race car to make it a winning race car? You've been adjusting on the thing all day.
Yeah, we're going to keep adjusting until Dale drives that big brown truck for UPS, I think. You know, the car's been great today. You know, we worked on it all day with no practice yesterday. Dale's drove his heart out, and he's the best driver here at Rockingham. We're going to make one more adjustment, and because we got to make one more stop. We don't give up, and we're not going to give up till we're in victory lane.
Now, if you may recall, 1 year ago, NASCAR Busch Series action, next week at Las Vegas will mark the anniversary of Brad Parrott scoring his first win as a crew chief. Second generation crew chief. His father, the legendary Buddy Parrott, following in some big footsteps. Hopefully, today, he goes all the way to victory lane.
All right, and former Winston Cup points champion Bobby Labonte, who also has won at Rockingham moments ago. Jeff Hammond making his pit stop.
Well, I think right now what these guys are looking to do is they're topping the car off, trying to get all they can to clean the grill so they can stretch the fuel mileage as long as they can. His car's been really good all day long. I think they're trying to put a little bit of strategy in here. Back to explain, maybe thinking 2 tires and about a can of gas to make the distance.
Okay, meanwhile, he's currently running 25th back in the pack. Now let's go to the 38 car. Elliott Sadler, we saw the tire bouncing around earlier, and so there is a penalty that NASCAR, once they identify whose tire that is, and I guess the car number is written on inside the tire rim?
Yeah, most of them are, and as you can tell right there, it came out in the middle of pit road. And that's the reason why you've got to maintain control of these tires. Dale Jarrett hits that tire. He could have knocked it back into somebody, so he'll be called to pit road or has to restart at the very tail end of the longest line. So, you know, it's one of those things you can't do. And we see Bobby Labonte coming back down on pit road to get some more gas in his car.
How could he, with fuel prices today? My goodness, he's going to have to take out a loan doing all this.
If he wins the race, he'll be able to cover it.
It'll be worth it all. Let's bring in a former crew chief or former ex-crew chief with Jeff Hammond, Larry McReynolds. Larry?
Yeah, I mean, again, guys, these things, this race is known for long green runs at the end, and this puts him, I think, in that window with 104 laps to go. He's banking up going green, but he didn't give up a whole lot. He only gave up about 2 or 3 positions to go in and get a full tank of fuel.
And I think, Larry, again, what they're trying to do is maybe get themselves in position of 2 tires and 1 can of gas toward the end. So a little bit of strategy starting to play out here at Rockingham.
Let's go back up to Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry Mack.
And folks at home, y'all might be wondering what's going on right now. This is our 7th inning stretch right here.
Here's where the Coca-Cola Racing family is running. Kurt Busch, the leader. Dale Jarrett 4th. Ricky Rudd 10th. And Chris, if you get sticker shock while filling up that German hot rod out in California at the pump, this 110 octane 76 racing fuel is but $4.95 a gallon retail.
And Tony Stewart, Bobby Labonte's teammate, elected to do the same thing as they got the 1 to go. He came in and topped off. Elliott Sadler, the real loser on this whole deal, came out 7th because you saw that tire roll across pit road. Equipment leaving the pit box has to go the tail end of the longest line, so he'll restart this race with about 100 laps to go in 27th.
We're set for the restart, folks. We're going to crank it up for you.
that green flag.
Coming down pit road, Larry, he was on the double up restart. He passed cars on the wrong side and advanced his position after they passed the white line over in the third turn, and NASCAR brought him in for that violation.
You know, you would just call that maybe a rookie error. It's a stop and go penalty, but he's going to go at least another lap down. He was already 1 lap down, so now he'll be 2 laps down.
Kurt Busch has taken off to a 1-second lead over Mark Martin. Ricky Craven now third. Dale Jarrett, Matt Kenseth, and Rusty Wallace have battled since they dropped the green flag here for 5th place. Now settled out in that order with Dave Blaney and Jeff Gordon moving in on Wallace.
You know, a guy that started 36th, and he's just been progressively working his way forward. Jimmy Spencer in that 7 car. He's up to 13th place right now. But, you know, his crew chief, Tommy Baldwin, he's always had a pretty good package for this place. Worked with Ward Burton for a number of years.
Yeah, who let the dogs out? That's what Spence is doing. He's letting the dog out right now.
Jimmy Spencer is driving like a man that wants to show people he can drive a race car.
Yes, he does. And he got a good team there with Tommy Baldwin and the crowd. They could surprise some people.
Greg Biffle working the outside on Mike Skinner. There's that 16, the rookie, trying to thread the needle. Show you where the rookies are in this race.
Oh, Gordon goes around.
He and Dale Jr. may have made contact, and Gordon's going to save it and keep it out of oncoming traffic. Jerry Nadeau also spins.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
7th yellow of the day at lap 298.
Joe Nemechek trying to come and get his lap back, but it's not going to work.
Boy, Jerry Nadeau doesn't want to pull out in front of all these guys coming here.
And Nadeau will not be able to stay on the lead lap.
Go real far.
Let's see what happened to Jeff Gordon.
My.
Got in the back of Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 8 car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't get in trouble.
I can tell you what that's all about. Dale Jr., a couple laps down, he passed Gordon going into 3 over there and slid up in front of him. And I don't know if that's, I don't know what happened after that. You'd have to ask them.
And we've been 7 laps since we pitted. Looks like most of the leaders are going to come to pit road, but this definitely puts them all in the window. They could go to the distance to the end. All the lead lap cars to pit road. Except Bobby Labonte in the 18 car. He stayed out.
Steve?
Robbie Reiser decided to go ahead and put 4 tires on. Russ Strupp is the jack man. Benji Grubb the gas man. Let's go to Matt Yocum.
Now Kurt Busch says his car is just a little bit tight. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment in the left rear. Meanwhile, Mark Martin says no adjustments on the 6. Service complete for Busch. Dick?
Ricky Craven is in. He is also going to take 4 tires. They're not even sure if they're in their window in terms of being able to go all the way on fuel. Craven now out.
Craven's team, the tire team's doing a great job today, Larry. I mean, they getting him in and out there with everybody, keeping him right up front.
They have done a good job. You know, those guys really started to turn the curve last year with their pit stops. So of all the lead lap cars, everybody pitted for 4 tires except for Bobby Labonte, an 18 car right there.
Well, you know, we saw him come in and out there just before they went back to green, and so he's happy with the car and the gas mileage. Jeannie?
right front fender damage, guys, for the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Actually, it wasn't as bad as they thought it would be. They were ready with some tape, but basically Gordon came in and said, give me the 4 tires and just get that fender cleared, and that is exactly what they did. Remain hopeful here in the 24 pit.
We need to document that Dave Blaney, our pole sitter, and Jeff Burton, they stayed out as well. Here's the crew cam on Robbie Gordon again, the 31 car. Josh Yost, Fox Sports crew cam.
You can see him looking there. You see him look front, look rear, look front, look rear.
Because he knows that car can't leave until all those lug nuts are tight, and it's on his shoulders, because Robbie Gordon's job is to leave when that car hits the ground.
Show you from Michael Walters' Napa onboard camera. There's Jerry Nadeau just ahead. Oops.
Run into from behind. You know, either one spotter did a really, really good job or the other spotter did a really, really bad job. I'm not sure which.